Hi everyone, it's Mike here. So this is my Dina Wakley multi-surface journal, and this is one of the cotton pages, double page spread. I've not done a double page spread art journal page in absolutely ages, and I don't think I've ever done one in this journal. They've always been single pages, even when I've had like double page cottons. I've never actually done a full double page spread. But today, whilst rooting through my digital collection, my digital image collection, I came across two that I'd completely forgotten I had. And I thought, actually, they'd make a really good double page spread. So that's why I've got my double page spread out. I've already printed them off onto ordinary photocopier paper using my Epson WF2630 printer, which is the one with the permanent ink, and cut them out. I've cut them out by hand just using a pair of scissors. They're not difficult, and these are the two images. So, and I'm not particularly a religious person, more spiritual than religious, but I just love the style of these iconoclastic, if that's the right word, religious icon style paintings. Absolutely love them. And because I've got the pair, I've got the Sacred Heart, obviously Catholic, Sacred Heart and Immaculate Heart, and I thought I'm going to do a double page spread. So that's what I'm going to do with these today. So I've picked out some colours from Indigo Blue that I think are going to go really, really well. And just looking at the images, so I've got the Fair from their portrait collection and Apricot Blush from their portrait collection, Indigo Blue portrait collection. But I've also got the Townhouse Teal and the Duck Egg. Now the Duck Egg is a new colour. It's not been out all that long. This is more translucent than opaque. The Townhouse Teal is more opaque than it is translucent. But I just thought blending these together with a little bit of this over the top would give it kind of that nice kind of tone. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to have a play with these colours today. And I'm not going to do painted background. I'm going to do scrapes. So I'm actually going to find an old bank card or key card. There we go. It's an old bank ATM card, and I think somewhere, no, I'm looking in my mark making drawer. I've got there we go, a spatula there as well. So I'm going to do some scrapes, and I'm going to do some scrapes with this, and also some lines in the background. But of course, neither of them have got halos, so I'm going to use my lunar stencil, which I've already masked off that area that I don't want, to create the halos around the back of the heads when I'm ready for it. So the thing to do now is just literally is to start throwing some paint down. So I'm just going to take some paint and I'm just going to start dropping it. Look at that beautiful colour. Love it, absolutely love the colour. And then grab some on this side. Now I have done an image on the reverse side of this art journal page, so it's a bit wrinkly, but we don't mind a few wrinkles. Let's just grab some more of that, get it down there. I haven't gessoed either, and that was deliberate. A little bit more. Just try and join those together by bringing some of that paint into the middle. Now, even though we've been going through a mini heat wave here in the UK the last couple of weeks, today it's a little bit cloudy, and the temperature has dropped a smidge. So whereas previously everything was drying really quickly, today it's not. So I'm having to use the heat gun to dry stuff off. Okay, baby wipe. Just get rid of that paint there. I'm not going to put it away just yet. I'm actually going to start bringing in some of this fair into the background. I've got a little paint mat or something. Probably one kicking about over here somewhere. There we go. I'll take some of that paint. I kind of love this combination, this kind of peachy kind of colour on this kind of blue. I think it's an absolutely gorgeous combo. Ooh. I've just caught the edge of the page. And yep, I am aware that I'm picking up some of the blue at the same time. That's fine. I may have to resort to buff, I think, for the halo. Go away, Mr. Fly. You're not wanted. Fly buzzing around. It's got to let the windows open still. Let's get some more of that. Are you joining us? It's almost got that texture, if you like, of an old church wall where the paint started to crack and fall off, the plaster started to fall off. Love it. Cool. Okay, let's get that cleaned off and get this dried, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so that background is now completely dry, and I've gone a bit heavy up here when I was trying to scrape the paint off, and I kind of want to bring that white back in again. So I've just grabbed some titanium white, and I want to just kind of make this edge a bit more decally. So I just want to grab a little bit of that white, just go back over where I've put too much of that blue. There we go. Just to kind of recreate that white border that we kind of had going on that I've now ruined. It's not perfect, but then again, it's not meant to be. But some mistakes are easy to save. Happy Might actually just bring a little bit of that white a bit further into the page. More on the spatula. That's it. It's definitely looking more like a distressed kind of plaster wall now. And I just want to break up a little bit more, so I just have a look, see if I've got any bubble wrap kicking around. Yeah, that'll do. Small piece of bubble wrap. Just grab that little bit of paint, what's left, and then I just want to just to break it up a little bit more. Happy with that. Okay, so I need to make sure everything's dry before I start placing down and start stenciling and creating that, or trying to create that halo. So out with the old heat gun again. Okay, so I've got my Jesus character just there, so I'm just going to work out where I want the stencil to go. So there, while I was drying the white paint, I kind of was just thinking, and I thought a lot of these religious icons had a lot of gilding to them, a lot of gold on them, so wouldn't it be kind of fun if the halo was done in gold for both Jesus and Mary? So that's what I'm going to do. So I've got my stencil in place, just slide Jesus from underneath, and see if I can tear a little bit of washi tape. Just lightly press that down there. I don't want to do it too heavy. Okay, and I've raked out my indigo blue Goldfinger. Goldfinger? No, I'm not going to sing. Right. So it's not going to be like gold leaf, but I'm hoping that it will. If I can load this cosmetic sponge up. Start going all the way around. I may have to do one or two layers to get the effect that I want, but you know, with the magic of special effects, I can always speed through it if that's exactly what I need to do. So I'm starting off. So what I'll do is I'll speed through until I'm happy with the depth of the gold. Okay, I think I'm happy with that depth of gold, and now I just need to do the same thing over at this side. So probably about there, I think. So just slide her out, just tack that back down, and then I can repeat the same process over again. But because you've already seen me do it, I will spare you having to go through the same stage again. So get started and then I'll see you in a few minutes. Right, I think all I'm doing now is taking it back off again. It's getting to that stage where it's tacky and it's starting to dry, and then when you put some down it's lifting itself back off again. So let's just very gently try and lift that off. It's gone underneath the stencil a little bit there, but that's okay. It's going to be covered up by my character anyway. So let's get that dried off and I will be right back. Okay, so the halos are now dry, so it's time to bring in and place down our characters. Doesn't it just fit nicely into that background? Looks fabulous. Okay, so I don't want to dull the gold, so I'm not going to use matte medium. I'm going to just apply some glue onto the back of the collage image, paying particular attention around the edges. This is one of the Dilution's diary glue sticks. They're only little. They're very dinky, very, very cute. Okay, let's see if we can lift that back off again now. Right, line it up with the bottom. See if we can get it into the middle of that halo. Gives us a little bit of time. Love it. Absolutely love it. I'm just looking at it, I'm thinking, oh, I should really add a border across the bottom, but I think it's going to ruin, if I try and add that kind of a gold border, I think it's going to ruin this kind of decal effect around the edge of the page, and I don't really want to do that, so I ain't. Okay, so we have Mary. Let's go and do the same thing again. Make sure we've got plenty. Pay particular attention to the edges because we don't want it curling up. It's the last thing we want. We certainly don't want a curly Mary. And then just lift her back up again and do the same thing at this side. So line her up, the bottom, and then smooth her down. Okay, we can get rid of that now. Do you know, I'm at that point now where I'm looking at it and thinking, I don't want to do any more. I really don't want to do any more, but I am. I'm going to press on and do just a little bit more. What I want to do is I just want to try and see if I can draw a little bit of a black line around the gold, just to kind of, but I might not be able to. No, I didn't think I'd be able to do it with one of these pens. Getting a little bit, but I think it's pulling the paint off. Which is a bit of a nuisance. Unless I have another one over here that I could sacrifice. Let's see. Some of these I don't know whether they work anymore. I don't think any of them do. They really don't last very long, these Pigma pens. And the football pens are too thick. They're not fine enough. What's this? Copic multiliner. Yeah. Maybe onto a Winair. Turn it upside down. I've got a funny feeling Jesus isn't stuck down. No, he isn't. Okay, so that means I'm going to have to try and add a little bit of glue just underneath his head. That's it. Let's see if we can try and do this very, very gently without creasing him. Okay, Mary. I'm not trying to be too careful either. If it's a little bit sketchy, I'm fine with that. You know, when you have a vision in your head of what you hope it would look like. Well, it's starting to look like that now. So I'm kind of getting a bit happy. Getting a bit happy. No, I'm not going to go around. I think I'm going to stick with that really. So I just want to add a few of those apricot tones into the background. I'm going to do some very, very light splattering. Not a lot, just a little bit. I was going to use the duck egg as well, but I've decided against it. Don't want to. But I'm going to just use a little bit of this apricot blush. Now somewhere I have got a fan brush. It's still in my water from when I last used it. Okay, let's dry that off. Oh, excuse me. So I'm going to take just a tiny bit, add some to that mat. See, a lot of people get hung up about splatters like this and always think it has to be either black or white. No, it don't. It needs to be in a colour that's complementary. I'll do. And I've got a baby wipe. Just clean that off, because unusually for me I want to add 2 lots. Okay, I'm just going to dry those off quickly. Okay, so those apricot blush splatters are dry and have blended nicely into the background, but I still want to add some more. I do still want to add some white. So I'm going to just bring out a little bit of titanium white, which is what we used earlier. And that fan brush again, which has had a good clean. Bit of a rinse. Okay, there's no trace of colour coming off on my kitchen roll. Add some more white. white, some more water. So that's not wet enough. That's it. That'll be just perfect. That's more like it. I see there's a little bit of that apricot just on Mary there. Just looks like an earring. Not that she would have worn one, he says quickly. To get that cleaned up. And again, dried off. And I like the combination of the white and the apricot now. That's looking good. Well, I think it's looking good anyway. I'm happy with it. Okay, there's one little thing that's starting to curl up, which isn't surprising. Okay, there's one thing that's kind of niggling me a little bit now. We've got that kind of white deckly effect on the outside edges and around the top. But where our characters, or our main images, oh, that's a bit of that back down, where our main images are touching the base, we see they're covering it over, and I think it would look better if there was some white scraped just across the bottom here. Just get some glue under that, just to kind of tie it all in. There we go. Making sure that just those little edges are glued. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just grab some more of that titanium white. I've got the spatula somewhere. I'm not going to use a huge amount. I'm just going to be very, very careful. Just to kind of catch the edge. So it's blended in a little bit better. I won't do it a lot. Just there we go. Yeah, happy with that. It just breaks it up a little bit, just like so. Just helps. There we go. Just a little slow process. A little bit at a time. I think I'm just about happy. I am just about happy. So I'm just going to have a quick clean off, dry those bits up, and then I'll be right back. So I'm pretty happy with the way this art journal page looks, and I wanted somewhere to write the word sacred for Sacred Heart and the word immaculate for Immaculate Heart somewhere on the page. And I didn't really want to use big chunky block letters I think it would detract away from it, so I want to actually add those words in somewhere, but I want to add them in really subtly so you can barely see them. So what I've decided to do, I've actually decided to use one of the Signo white opaque rollerball pens and try and write the words in on the page in white so that it kind of blends into the background like the rest of the white stuff does. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write the word sacred just down here where his sleeve is, and I'm just going to write it fairly small in capitals. I'm hoping that the pen's going to stay working. In the heat we've had recently, I wouldn't be surprised if it did stop working. Just there, just subtly. I know it's not perfect, but hey ho. And on this side, he says try not to get his elbow into it. I'm going to write the word immaculate just down there. So it's going to be a little bit longer. I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to do any more. The only thing I'm going to do is just write my name. Put the side there. And today's date. And I'm going to call that page done. That's it. Happy. I'd also like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, without whose generosity and support these videos would not be possible. Thank you.